So you're joining me at home with an open cupboard door, and I really don't care. And it's been one of those days today, right? So, school kids, listen up. There are rules about your zip card which you need to know. Okay, so there are rules of travel for under 18s, and I'm on the TFL website, and I'm going to read these rules to you because I follow these rules, and if you don't like it, go and cry to your mum. JBM Travels, how are you? So it says here, and you can go to the Transport for London website and you can find it there quite easily. Fares, free and discounted travel, rules of travel for under 18s, that's the path. It says, our young person's behaviour code exists to ensure your travel safely, to ensure you travel safely and show respect for others. That's what it says. How are you doing, Sarah? You must follow it, or you risk losing your concession or your Zip Oyster photo card. And that's what it is. It is a concession. You don't, just because you have a Zip card doesn't give you the right to free travel. It's a concession. The young person's behaviour code helps you travel safely and be respectful of travellers, staff, and property. Expected behaviours include, but are not limited to, and I will read these comments out shortly. And then it says, act in a considerate and responsible manner. 1. Act safely. 2. Cooperate with our staff and treat them and other passengers with respect. Now, this is one thing I can't stress enough. Treat us with respect. Please, we show you the respect by stopping and opening the door. If we have to open the rear door first to let people off, just have a little bit of respect and wait. We will open the front door. Don't go jumping on the back because that's going to stop you from getting on the bus in total. You know, that happened to me today. You know, just show a little bit of respect. If we ask you to move down the bus, just move down the bus so I can let more people on safely. You know, we don't ask for much. Just be considerate. Have a little bit of respect. Use language that does not cause offence to others. Basically, don't sit on the bus chatting codship with your mate saying fuck this, fuck that, fuck this, fuck that. It's not nice to hear as a passenger. It's not. You got to think, you could have old Doris sitting there, 90 years old, still gets about, never heard so much bad language in her life, you know. And it says here, number 4, ensure that you are the only person that can hear your music. Evening drive in London. So if you're a child under 18 and you're listening to music, use headphones. Don't just play it out on your speaker because it's annoying. It's not considerate, it's not respectful, and as a driver, we can hear it, and it's quite distracting. What we hear is it's really, really, really irritating. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4. Number 5. Ensure you pick up all your litter. That's actually bad typing there on TFL website. It should be ensure you pick up all of your litter, but you know, I don't proofread these things. But pick up all your litter. You know, don't get on my bus eating your chicken shop because I'm not going to allow you on the bus. I reserve the right to refuse travel for whatever the reason I deem fit. So if you're thinking you can get on your bus eating chicken shop, think again. It ain't happening. You ain't getting on my bus. It's a bus, not a restaurant. And 9 times out of 10, you're going to leave it on the floor and there's going to be chicken bones everywhere, like some sort of voodoo ritual's been going on. I don't like it. I can smell it. It's not pleasant for everyone else watching you eat, listening to you go and then leaving it on the floor. Don't do it. Pick up your litter, take it with you, put it in the bin. The next one, keep your feet off the seats. This is another one. You know, you walk on the street, Dogs pee on the street. Dogs poo on the street. You don't know what's on your feet underneath. This is when you get home, you take your shoes off, don't you? So why is it when you get on a bus, you put your feet on the seats? Don't do it. It makes the seats dirty. Then that dirt gets onto someone else's clothes and they could end up getting infected with whatever the hell's been on the bottom of your feet. Just don't do it. It's not nice. Don't put your feet on the furniture at home. And don't put your feet on the furniture in my bus. A little bit of consideration. And then it says, give up your seat for others. Now, with that one, that's priority seats. Or just have a little bit of common sense. If someone gets on the bus and you can see they're struggling to walk, they could be elderly, you know, they could be pregnant, for example. So someone could have a disability, which you can see because you can't see all disabilities, and you're sitting in a priority seat. Offer it to them. Even if you're not in a priority seat, be the bigger person and offer someone your seat if you think they need it. It's just a nice thing to do. You see, they will appreciate it, and you know, you end up gaining a level in maturity if you do that. So that's act in a considerate and responsible manner section. The next one is look after your Oyster card. And this one, please, this is golden. This is, I've lost count the amount of times every single day I've heard, driver, I lost my Oyster card. Can I get on the bus, please, driver? Please, I lost my Oyster card. Right. Kids, you've got one responsibility. Okay, one, it's a piece of plastic. Put it in the same place every day, which is usually in your phone, because you never lose your phone, or put it in your wallet if you've got a wallet. Just put it in the same place so you know where it is. Right, but this is what it says. Ensure it's not used by another person. So if I see someone get on my bus and they touch on and it says it's already been used on this bus, that tells me that you've passed your Oyster card on to someone else and they've tried getting on with that card. You see, we're not stupid. We see these things. We see you do it as well, which makes it even funnier. Ensure your photo is clearly and recognizable and the card is in good condition. Now, the amount of times I've seen these zip cards, right, and the photo has been literally rubbed off. You can't, it's just a white square. You cannot tell. If the name isn't on it or the photograph's not on it, I'm not taking it. It's as simple as that. The amount of times I see them snapped in half, bent, chewed, this, that, and the other, it's a piece of plastic. Look after it. It's not difficult. I've had the same bus pass for 12 and a half years. It ain't going anywhere because I know where it is. All right. If you get on my bus and show me it and go, no, look, it's me, and I see a white square, tough. At the end of the day, your problem, not mine. It says here, if your Oyster photo card is lost, stolen, or damaged, report it to us immediately, even if you do not plan to get a replacement straight away. This is because if you don't plan on getting a replacement and it's gone missing and someone else picks it up, they'll be using it, stealing your identity, and they'll be going around claiming to be you. Now, here's the thing. If you have lost your card and someone picks up your card and pretends to be you, and they say it's an adult who say, just pick a situation up, they've got a criminal record and they just want to go and do something stupid, and they end up, let's just say, beating someone up on the street, laying them out, and they've got your Oyster card, right? They can then get around pretending to be you. Yeah? And then it will be a case of, oh, but we've tracked your Oyster card at this point, at the scene of a crime at this time on this bus. Why were you there? Oh, I wasn't there. I lost my bus pass. Just put it in your pocket. You know, I mean, that's not going to happen. That's unlikely, but you know. Anyway, we're moving on. I will read all of these in a minute. I will. It says, use your Oyster photo card correctly. Now, listen up, boys and girls. This is how we use your Oyster card correctly. Number one, always touch in on the yellow Oyster reader on buses and trams. Okay. Number two, always touch in at the start of your journey and touch out at the end on the Tube, DLR, London Overground, Elizabeth Line and National Rail services. So basically, on the bus, you always touch on. Anything else, or bus and tram, you just touch on. Anything else, touch on, touch off. Simple as that. And here's my favourite one, because this is the one that sticks in my craw. All right, and I work by these rules. Okay, a lot of people say there's the company rule and then there's TfL rule. There's only one rule. There is TfL rule. Some people like to say there's company rule. I don't deal with company rule. I drive a bus for a company on behalf of TfL, and I follow TfL rule. This is what it says, boys and girls. It says, pay the right fare if you do not have your valid photo card with you or it is damaged. Now, in order for you to have a validated zip card, you need to have a minimum of one bus fare on there, which is £1.65. The bus or tram will never take that fare, but it makes that card valid for travel. And when it's valid for travel and you touch on, you are then covered by the insurance of said company and TfL. If I have an accident and you get injured, you're covered. It means it proves you were on that bus. You see, if you use that card anywhere else, it will take the money. But literally, £1.65 will keep your card valid for travel on London's buses. It's as simple as that. And the thing is, this is what gets me, is I see kids get on the bus and they go, look, it's me. Touch it on there, please, son. Beep, beep. Not enough money. Oh, what do I do? Go and top up. But the thing is, these kids now, instead of spending their money on their bus pass, which they know they've got no money on, they're standing outside vaping. And these shops are selling them to them at $5.99 a pop. So instead, kids, of spending your money on vape or chicken shop, go and put some money on your bus pass. Go and have dinner at home. I'm telling you now, if I finished school and I went to the chicken shop before coming home, my mum wouldn't have been impressed. I can tell you that for nothing. All right. The next one, it says, pay any penalty fare that has been issued to you. Now, it's difficult for me to say because there's not that many revenue inspectors around anymore. There aren't that many revenue inspectors, but they do get about. Okay. The next one on this wonderful page from TfL says you must not, listen up very closely, smoke, take drugs or drink alcohol in our vehicles and or premises. Smoking also is vaping as well on a bus. You know, the amount of times I've seen people vaping on the bus, get off. Simple as that. You break the rules, you leave. It says you must not behave in a way that we consider to be antisocial. So if you're on the bus and you're screaming and yelling, you're being a little pain in the arse, that's antisocial behaviour. Again, that goes back to not being a dickhead, basically. Don't be an arse. Just have a bit of consideration. Don't be antisocial. Just be decent. Behave the way you would expect your mum and dad to see you and be proud of you. Because realistically, you're representing your parents. So if you're an arsehole on my bus, that reflects badly on your mum and dad. And I'm pretty sure they don't want to be called an arsehole, do they? No. Okay. You must not commit any crime that affects our services, passengers, staff, or property. Yeah? Don't rip the seats off and throw them out the windows, because that's happened before. Don't punch the bus, because that can hurt you and it can also break the windows. Don't graffiti on the bus. Don't urinate or poo on the bus. And yes, people do that. It's disgusting. Okay. You must not breach the conditions of Carriage Public Services Vehicles Regulations 1990 or any TfL bylaw. Okay. The next one says, if you do not follow the code, okay, this is all under 18s. Okay, all of this is under 18s. If you fail to follow the young person's behaviour code, commit a crime on London's public transport network or premises, or if we believe that you have behaved in an antisocial way, then 2 more points. If you are using a 5 to 10 Oyster zip card or an 11 to 15 Oyster photo card, your concession may be withdrawn. based on bad behavior. You see, I can do that. You see, I can take your Oyster card and stop it there and then. I don't do that, but I can. Okay. If you're using a 16 plus zip Oyster photo card, your photo card and your concession may be withdrawn. It's as simple as that. You see, so don't be stupid on the buses. Be a decent human being. You see, I know it's difficult because kids are kids, and I know you're going to want to do what you want to do. Do under 10s need a zip? I just saw that one. That's a free travel is for anyone under the age of 11, but there are zip cards out there, but you can get a zip Oyster card for 5 to 10-year-olds. I don't know why you would need that. It's just a TfL thing they put out. You can get a 5 to 10 zip card for kids that age, but generally speaking, if you're below the age of 11, you get free travel anyway. And that's another thing. Kids got on the bus. Where's your bus pass? I'm 10. Really? Yeah, I'm 10. Oh, right. Your beard's bigger than mine, mate. But, you know, this is just... and the thing is, they can earn their travel back if their passes get revoked. It says earn your travel back. If your zip or Oyster photo card has been withdrawn for breaching the young person's behaviour code, you can earn it back by volunteering in your local community. We'll let your parent or guardian know that your concession has been withdrawn. Then give them the details about how you can earn your travel back. You can't take part if you had your concession withdrawn because of criminal behaviour. You've taken part in the Earn Your Travel Back scheme before for a previous withdrawal. Basically, if you've lost your bus pass once, you've earned it back. You lose it again, you won't be able to earn it back. So here's the thing. So I'm going to read some of these comments now. So I do apologise for not going through that. Let's have a look. See, hello everybody. Thank you everyone for watching. I really appreciate it. Joining me in my room. JBM Joel says long time. Southern Transport 466 says hi. How the devil are you? Roy West says hello, Chris. Hello, mate. Sarah says hi, Chris. Hi. Now, evening, Chris. Management don't want buses delayed. It doesn't matter. At the end of the day, we've all got jobs to do, and whether the bus is delayed or not is irrelevant because I'm going to do my job correctly. And if that means I end up delayed, then so be it. You see, I don't push myself to drive faster than the speed limit because it's a speed limit, not a speed target, and I will drive my bus safely and correctly at all times, regardless of the traffic situation. So if I'm running late because I'm doing my job, I really, really, really don't care. Let's see. There's so many comments. Thank you very much, everyone. I really appreciate that. Let's have a look. There's so many. There's a lot of hellos. By the way, I saw a bus driver yesterday get a fine for letting a school kid on the bus. Why would the bus driver? Without a zip card, yeah. Evening, Chris. Management don't want buses delayed. Yeah, without a zip card. Evening all, says Driving London. If anyone hasn't subscribed to Driving London, if you don't know who Driving London is, go and subscribe to Driving London. Sweet bloke, absolutely sweet as a nut. Evening, Sarah says Driving London. Evening, Soft 166. Brian says Driving London. Hi, Mike, Driving London. Yeah, everyone go and subscribe to Driving London. You know, he's a lot more interested than me, believe me, a lot more interesting. Be aware, says JBN Travels, drivers are breaking the law and can be fined up to 50k for driving with people in front of the yellow line. This is for safety of the passengers and the driver. Okay, so basically on the buses, the front of the bus is known as the platform. Okay, and that area next to me needs to be kept clear. It is for your safety. And obviously, if I have to slam my brakes on and everyone goes flying forward, the weight of 15 people is the equivalent of 1 ton. And I'm pretty sure you don't want to be the one right at the front of being squashed by a ton. Equally, if I get pulled over by the police or VOSA for whatever the reason may be, and I've got people standing at the front of my bus, that's points on my license. So I do not want that to happen. Thank you very much. That is my driving license, not yours. Evening, Chris Powell, says Ross McGarry. How are you doing, bro? I'm good. Soft 16 says Chris, but Chris's bus is now running 1 hour late. Do you know what? I was actually running half an hour late today, funny enough, purely because of most of this, but it was traffic. Section 901 of Road Traffic and Policing Act, JBM Travels, and you might have something there. I haven't read that. Even though I'm on a walker, I still offer my seat to an elderly, disabled, or someone who's pregnant. Sarah, you're a wonderful person. So letting a kid on without a zip card now get driver's fines. What's next for a fine? Okay, so basically the way it used to work, and it doesn't work like that anymore, is if an inspector got on the bus and gave someone a fine because the driver let them on, that the company is then fined £500 for every single person that gets caught without a valid bus pass. The company gets fined £500 by TfL. That's a fact. And what used to happen is the company would be able to pass that on to the driver, which doesn't happen anymore. But like I said, everyone that gets caught, the company gets a fine, basically. And if it carries on happening, they will pull you in. And I don't really want to be pulled in, hence the reason why everyone pays on my bus. If you don't pay on my bus, you can do your shoelaces up and use a Shoelace Express. It's always on time. So many comments. I do apologise if I don't get around. I think the fine is £200, but I can't remember. Neither can I. Do you still have them tickets if I can't pay, Chris? No. At the end of the day, not at all. Have you done other routes other than 358 since? No, I don't. I only do the 358. I won't route learn. I like my 358. I do. It's a lovely route. It has its ups and downs, but no, it's a lovely route. For the new line for letting someone, the new fine for letting someone on without paying or not having a pass, now drivers get fines. So what are we getting a fine for? Basically, just get on the bus and pay your bus fare. It's as simple as that. It's cheap enough. It's £1.65. You've got unlimited buses for an hour. You know, anyone that doesn't want to pay £1.65 and yet they're standing outside of a tin of Prime or whatever, you know, priorities. You know, you've got to prioritise getting home over eating chicken shop. I watched that video where you cleaned the floor and saw the rubbish outside the bus. It was you. Take on that video. And yeah, honestly, it gets on my nerves. When I was younger, bus fares were 40p. When I was younger, bus fares were 20p. I remember that. So yeah, but there we go. You know, so I've been ranting on this video for nearly 23 minutes. I've been ranting on this video, and things need saying at the end of the day, because people need educating. Children and parents do not read the paperwork that comes with their bus passes. They'll get on the bus, oh yeah, but it's free anyway. No, it's not. It's a concession, okay? And it's only valid if you meet the criteria, okay? Just having your bus pass and going like that, look, it's me, doesn't quite cut it. I mean, I know you've got a home to go to. If you've got your bus pass, 9 times out of 10, I'll let you go. But if you just walk straight past me and assume it's okay, no, that's not going to happen. Okay? I'm just sick to my back teeth of the attitudes, the lack of respect that not just me, but all of my colleagues receive. You know, we deserve better than that, you know? And we don't want to argue. We don't. We can't stand it. Okay? We just want to get on with what we're doing, but just please be a decent human being. As I know you're young, you're growing up, kids, but start acting a little bit more mature on public transport, because it's my job at the end of the day. It's where I have to work. It's essentially my office. I don't want to work in something that's filled with rubbish. And other people don't want to be on a bus that's filled with rubbish. Chris, I heard Route 271 will be withdrawn. I don't know. I genuinely don't know. Have you driven Enviro 200? Yes, I have. I was in an Enviro 200 today, actually. And for us, the older ones, not the current one, And for old as those buses are, those Enviros, they do not go. They're smooth. The brakes are nice. They pick up well. What I don't like about those is the perspex that goes from the middle all the way to the front, because it's just too much glare. £1.65 is so cheap, pal, says Ross McGarry. And yes, it is. £1.65 for unlimited buses for an hour is extremely cheap, and people whinge and moan about it. Seriously. It's beggars belief. I don't understand why people think £1.65. In all fairness, even if the price was hiked up to £2, because across the country fares are going to be capped at £2 anyway. So even if bus passes or Oyster cards in London were put up to £2, yes, it make money for TfL, but it's still cheap, and you get unlimited buses for an hour. Honestly, stop bitching and moaning about I can't afford it. But yet you're standing there, smoking your fags, you've got money for fags, drinking beer, you've got money for beer, eating crap from the takeaway shop, you've got money for that, and you don't want to put money on your Oyster card. You've got to prioritise getting home. The new long bus on the 358, put bus fares up and get more revenue inspectors. Thing is, the problem with that is I believe TfL are, at least last I heard, were 80 revenue inspectors short. That may have changed, because I spoke to one of the revenue inspectors about a year ago. That's what that person told me. What happened to that new bus? Did it really get withdrawn? It was at our garage for a little while before being taken back, I believe. I haven't seen it today, but we're all going to get type trained on these new tram buses within the next month and a half to 2 months. The infrastructure is being put in. We're getting the charge points in up at Crystal Palace. There's another one to go in up at Crystal Palace, and I believe they're putting charge points, the pantograph at Alpington Station. And once all the infrastructure's there, then I believe the buses are going to come in, and we're all going to get type trained on them, and they should be comfortable. And bus tram, is that a tram? Tram bus? No, basically it is a bus. It's an electric bus, but it's the way it charges. It's a pantograph, so it drives. Say it's like that. The bus drives underneath it like that, and then the electric charge basically comes down and attaches itself to the roof of the bus, which makes it look like a tram. Chris, have you seen the low windows on the Irizar electric tram buses? Yes, I have. Yes, I have. Hi, Chris. I drive the car park buses at my local airport. Nice, Stephen Highland. Are you going back to your old garage? No. The only time I'm going back to that garage is if I'm doing training. I'm cool, I guess. As Chris, have you heard of the latest update on the Central London Buses Review November 2020, where Sadiq Khan has saved us? No, I haven't actually. I haven't heard that at all. So you're gonna have to enlighten me on that one. Old garage at Cams. Not saying the full name. Nah, that's cool. You can say Camberwell. There's 2 bus garages at Camberwell anyway. It doesn't really matter. So no, I'm happier where I am now. I'm a lot happier. Yes, I have to travel in, I have to drive in, which is costing me a little bit in petrol. But you know what? I just don't care. I'd rather drive and be happier and be relatively stress-free, rather than stay where I was and get the amount of abuse I was getting on a daily basis. Mainly racist abuse, in all fairness, which I don't tolerate. Connor Green says, hey Chris, how you doing? Yeah, it was racist abuse, really. And the thing is, I hear it from passengers against me. I hear it from passengers against other passengers, and it just got to a point where I just can't. It's soul destroying. It's why be that negative and disrespectful and hateful towards anyone because of where they're from or their skin colour. And the thing is, driving the bus I was driving through areas I was driving, the amount of times I'd hear you white this or you black that, blah 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 blah, the arguing, it just we're all humans, and I just couldn't deal with it anymore. It's sad is what it is. I can't deal with racism. It drives me mad. Now, Chris, do you enjoy driving the Mex on the 358? Do you know what? I do enjoy driving the Mex. I did actually have one that broke down the other day. But the thing is with those is they're really smooth, they're comfortable to drive, but they do have the odd problem now and again, and it's purely because each one of them has over 500,000 kilometers on them. You're looking more happy in your new garage. Cheers, really appreciate that. In all fairness, I need a haircut. I look a lot happier if I had a haircut. The beard's still here. I'm going really grey though. Look at that, it's really bad. So what I'm going to do is I want to keep this for a year, the beard, by the way, just saying. Taran, what's going on, T? So I'm going to keep this for a year now. So on 365 days, no shave. But yeah, so Taran, listen, mate, buddy, if you want to know what this is about, you have to rewind the video all the way back to the beginning, because I do my job properly, mate. And it just got to a point today where I thought, you know what, let me just have a look and see what the dealio is with the rules on zip cards and these wonderful little cherubs that get on the bus and go, let driver, it's free. No, it's not. 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 It's not free at all. And you've just been rumbled. You know, it's like kids, you've just been rumbled. I've read out all the rules for the travelling if you're under 18s. Give it a watch. Read it word for word. Word for word, I did. But yeah, so anyway, that's what's happening with that. As and when these new buses come into the garage, I know you know the rules. I know you know the rules because I know you know that I know you know the rules. This is very true. But the thing is, I'm doing this so other people can understand the rules. Because people don't understand the rules. People have to understand the rules. Without no rules, what we're going to do? Right? So anyway, look, I'm going to go. As and when these new buses do come in, I've got to be very careful with what I do if I do a video, because obviously logos and companies and this, that and the other. But I'll never bring the company into disrepute, ever. The company's been good to me over the years. What happened to the sideways back door before you go? Well, what happened to the sideways back door? You kind of lost me there, mate. You really did. Anyway, look, I'm going to go. It's been 32 minutes now since I've started this little rant. And I'm going to go. I'm going to have a cup of tea. And I wish everyone has an absolutely cracking rest of the week. I may go live again. I'm trying to get back into it. We'll wait and see. So, everyone, love you lots. See you later. Mwah.